Looking to improve your life, brush up on your personal growth techniques? You are in the right place. Welcome to Life's Little Lessons with your host, author of Designing Your Own Destiny, Kevin A. Dunlap.
Hello, everybody. This is Kevin Dunlap with Life's Little Lessons. And today I have another special guest coming all the way from the Southern Hemisphere over from Australia, but actually he's originally from Malaysia. I'm very interested in finding out more what he has to say because he talks about email marketing. His name is Jalen. Hopefully I don't mispronounce this too bad. Ong, as far as last name is O-N-G. So Jalen Ong is our special guest today. Jalen, welcome to the show. And thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, my pleasure. So I know you happen to be in America at the moment during this recording, but you're mainly you're housed out of Melbourne, Australia. Could you tell me a little bit about what it is that you do and why is it that you do it?
Yeah, definitely. So about 2 years-ish ago, I had a brain abscess. I was admitted to the hospital. I lost the ability to talk. I wasn't able to write. It was quite surreal. And I was really lucky because I was operated in time. And then I started to gain the ability to talk and write again. I think it was at that point where I felt that life is really short. I was in the corporate world for quite many years as well. And we were talking to Kevin about working in the corporate world. And it was at that point that I realized, hey, life is really, really short. And is this really what I want to do? And I came to the realization, I really want to spend some time exploring what I want to do and also spend some time traveling, which explains why I went to Australia and, I went to Mexico actually right before I'm in Newport Beach now, nearby LA. So now I'm in LA for maybe Newport Beach for another month. And then I'll probably head back to Malaysia for a month before back to Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really that incident that really woke me up in, what do I really want to do and what kind of life do I really want to lead?
And I would agree with you because we did not talk about this. I did not know that you said you had a stroke or brain aneurysm is what you had?
They didn't reuse that exact words. It's brain abscess. Basically, it was abscess pressing down my brain, which is why the area of my brain where I talk and write, right, my cognitive ability was suppressed.
Because at the recording of this show, which is in July of 2018, some of my guests know that back in May of 2018, I actually had a brain aneurysm myself on the left side.
Oh, okay.
So I understand what you were talking about. They did have to operate, thank goodness. I was in ICU for 2.5 days.
Okay.
And it was just leakage on the left side of my brain.
Okay.
So I did lose the ability to speak for a little while. And if you go back to I think it's May 12th on my Facebook page.
Right.
Even when I'm getting out of the hospital and say I'm about to be released today, and you can see a distinct slur on the right side of my face.
Right.
And
right after the operation, you slowly, how long does it take for you to heal?
It took me. I don't advise people to do this, but I went to the hospital Tuesday afternoon on the 8th of May, and then I was getting out on May 12th, that Saturday. On the 16th, eight days after the stroke, I was giving a Toastmasters talk. I said, why am I going to let that stop me? So I went ahead and gave a 5-minute talk, 6-minute talk.
Okay.
And I was still like slurring and slobbering a little bit, but it was just practice and going through because I'm sure they did it with you. They give you words that you say and repeat just so you can start training your facial muscles again, and then over time maybe I didn't.
They didn't. Okay, so that's what at least they. How long did it take for you to regain the entire speech ability? I mean, to lose that slur and.
It took probably about a month, in all honesty, because mine wasn't a blood clot, which is what a stroke often is, or a blood vessel burst, which is the other version.
Okay.
Mine was a leak so it saturated that part of my brain,
right?
Which is what caused me to do that. Now, often with strokes, you could lose half of your body. you know,
Right,
usually.
definitely. Yeah.
So I
Mm.
applaud you because you look perfectly fine to me. For those of you that are watching the video, you can see that he's perfectly fine. Those of you that are on the audio only, you can,
Mm.
I would not be able to tell that something like that happened to you a couple of years ago. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, looking back, I think I would, that is in a way a great wake up call.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I think living life, I have great tolerance for, I don't know, pain. Like it's okay. I'm just gonna keep keep doing that. But it's always that wake up call that tells you, hey, life is really short. How would you really want to live your life?
And that is so true because I know for me, when I went in, the days before. Now I was my mood swings were up and down. My external
Mm,
mood swings was very positive, but my own inner battles and inner demons, were
mm,
there. After being in the hospital and the people coming in to visit and things like that, and then
yeah.
getting out. Yes, it was a complete mindset shift. It's like
Hmm.
now I'm more determined to go and do things. It's like, it's just having that, life could have been taken away from me 2.5 years
Yeah,
ago. Same with you for
definitely.
2 years ago. It's like, now what is it that I want in my life, and how am I going to live it? And it's
Yeah.
kind of sad that it takes something like that to wake us up, that kind of a wake up call. But that's why they call it a wake up call.
It's true. It's
so
true. True.
so you had your incident, and obviously you healed. How did that propel you to do what you're doing now?
Yeah, and then I just went on like an exploration, right? I did a lot of things. I did a startup, and I was really lucky. I met this mentor, and that got me into actually email marketing and closing, which they're actually very similar. One is written words, one is like speaking, right? Um, what he did, my mentor, was he only like which inspires me to do the same, right? Because I'm learning from him as well. He write emails for people, for businesses that he believes in, that make a difference in people's lives, and he only closes also for people that he believes in, that makes a difference in people's lives. I From him I realized the power of words. I mean, as an author, probably you definitely can relate because you speak as well. The power of words to inspire people to take action.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was also that I realized, there are a lot of people that they are in a situation where they needed help, but they're too afraid to take action. And him, having the power of words to persuade, to convince someone to take action, because without that action, nothing would ever change.
True.
Yeah, yeah, and that was what inspired me to get into both email marketing and closing.
Okay, because I saw that on your some of your sites that you have on both your LinkedIn as well as your Facebook sites,
Mm.
and I was just curious about that. So, with the email marketing, is that to build a list, or is that to convert a list, or what is that mainly trying to do?
Yeah, good question. So usually, like people have this website, and usually they have, get someone to sign up to the email list. But a lot of times when we receive emails, it's always this person just selling and selling and selling to us.
Right.
And the problem with that is, we lose trust with this person. He or she may have a really good product or may not, which is why like we are quite selective with who we work with. But if you don't establish a trust with me as a subscriber, then I feel like you're only out there to sell to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we really want to change with email marketing, right? To create that trust with your subscriber, to really add value. How can we really add value? Of course, at the same time, also you're still selling, but create that trust that, hey, I'm not just out there to make money, but I want to make your life better as well. And also the whole idea of um, education versus entertainment.
Yes, I saw that you're an entertainer as well. So,
Yeah, yeah. I like how my mentor, when I was learning from him, he asked me, he asked me how much is opera being paid, you know, and how much is I don't know, a teacher being paid.
mhm.
A teacher adds so much value to the student, but why is it that a teacher is paid so much less? It's unfair, honestly, I feel. But it's also, I guess, a reflection of how the society values entertainment versus education.
Okay.
Yeah, and trying to bring that to emails as well, like trying to combine both. We want to add value and yet be entertaining.
Okay, because we pay more attention to the entertainment, but if you can make it an educational moment as well.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think you got what I mean. Not trying to sell all the time, adding value at the same time, make it entertaining. I think that is the direction that we want to head to with email marketing.
Now, in your email marketing, is it a lot of content and the little sales, or a combination of maybe half and half, or how does that normally pan out for you? Or is that a trade secret? But
No, I mean, definitely the whole point of this is to share as much as possible, right? So I think most importantly, like a lot of people say, hey, email marketing, what words should I use to convert? Like when people think about that, it's like, what words do I use to convert better? To make that is definitely important. Like when you want to make a sale, but most importantly, I think is the who is writing, like the brand of yourself. If you receive an email, say from Tony Robbins or from someone that you don't know, that you subscribe to the email list, there's probably certain people that you trust a lot more. So to me, the more important thing is to establish the who. So as part of email marketing is, are you establishing that who of who you are, right? And creating the trust. Hey, you like Kevin, Kevin is the guy that I trust. So whatever Kevin says, I believe in him. Whatever he recommends, I will check it out. Whatever he sells, because I trust him, I would buy from him. So I think the who is so much more important to establish way before we talk about, what words you want to, the actual words and the actual conversion of it.
okay, because I know, because I do subscribe to a lot of email lists, and unfortunately, I don't read most of those emails. So,
Okay.
but I mean, I've thought of, because I got people that go into groups sometimes, like say Brandon Burchard or something. He's a perfect example. And if I
Yeah.
look at my email right now, I'll probably see 135 unread messages. So like,
Yeah.
then I finally go to, it's like, okay, then again, we would have dated this show. This is July 2018. I would
Yeah.
go and read his email, and it says, okay, this offer expires in October 2017. I guess I'm a little late for that one.
Okay. It's interesting. I'm curious now. You subscribe to a lot of email lists, but you don't read most of them.
I
Are
don't.
there any ones that you read consistently?
I would say probably the one I read the most is a gentleman by the name of Jeff Walker.
Oh, the launch,
Yeah,
the one
product
with
launch guy.
okay, yeah, okay.
Because I went to one of his classes with my friend I told you about before, my friend
Mm,
Janita that lives up in Vancouver.
mm,
And her and I went to his his weekend seminar on
right.
in April 2017, and that was a huge thing. I learned a lot from that.
Yep.
But most of the other people that I subscribe to, unless I was going to ask you about this, unless
Mm,
their subject line is very catchy,
yeah.
it's like
Totally.
it's mass delete is what it is. Because the way
Exactly.
I look at it is, I don't have the time. I don't want to spend the time looking at it, because right now I'm writing a book, I'm doing
Yeah.
a podcast, which that does take a bit of the time. I'm creating my online presence in different Facebook groups. I'm sure that's
Mm,
how we met, is through
yeah.
that. I'm starting to learn how to do that on LinkedIn. So I'm really busy with my time. Plus, I'm a real estate agent here in Vegas, in Las
Nice.
Vegas. So
Okay.
I'm constantly working on different real estate transactions. So when I
You're
get
doing everything.
when I wake up in the morning, I got 47 new email messages. Like, how many of these do I want to read?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you hit a really good point there. I mean, I'm just gonna ask you more on Jeff Foco. Why is it that you opened his email? Right. I mean, what
Because I got
was it?
so much value from his stuff about product launches.
Nice.
And there's not anything negative to say about the other people. If I didn't want to read them, I didn't want to get the emails, I would just go unsubscribe.
Yeah.
So they are still important at some point in time. But when I get the ones from like Lisa Sasevich, Marsha Weeder, Brandon Burchard, even Robert Kiyosaki,
Mm,
I'm just not
yep.
looking. And those are some big names.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, you nailed the point right there. I think I'm guessing based on what you say. You're reading Jeff. Um, what's his name? Jeff Walker, right?
Jeff Walker, yes.
Yeah. It's mainly because you've met him. You trust that he's adding value, which we talked about just now. It's also the recency as well. right? You recently met him and he stays in your mind and you remember how much value he added to your life. Also, you're currently launching something.
Sure,
So,
exactly.
so that is something that you're working on, and that could directly add value to what you're working on right now.
Right, because yeah, right now we were talking about this before the show.
Yeah.
I'm finishing up my book. I'm at the moment of this recording. I'm getting testimonials, which then it would go to editing and then formatting and then cover design, and now it's going. I
Yeah.
plan on launching that in September, but now yes, I'm going back reviewing a lot of Jeff's stuff. It's like, okay, what's the best way to launch a book,
Exactly.
online and offline? So there would be two different launches. You got your online launch, like, hey, it's on Amazon, go buy it now.
Mm.
Offline would say, hey, come to Barnes and Noble on September 19th to meet the author of The Winner's Mindset or The Winner's Code.
Nice.
So that,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you just completely relate to, that whole email thing. You mentioned like him adding value to you, and I like that you brought up the subject line. It has to be so intriguing, so interesting. Otherwise, if it doesn't get open, no matter how good your email is, it just doesn't get open.
right. And that's because I know I've known this for a while, and this is probably something we could talk about on the show here is your open rate.
Mm,
When people say, hey, I've got a list of 1,000 people, or let's say I've got 1,000 followers on Instagram. Well, how many
mm,
people are actually engaging with you?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So the open rate is actually the most important, right? Because if they're not opening your email rates, then the click-through rates doesn't even get click-through.
Yeah.
Right. If there's no click through, then there's no sale. So it's all like when you mentioned the open rate is the first step of that commitment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know because I sent out an email in my other business, my real estate business, and I have usually about a 25% open rate and I've got about 500 people in that thing.
Mm,
So I know for me, a 25% open rate is good, but on some of my other email lists, I may have a 12% open rate. So yeah, because I have two different email lists. One is getting like a 20% or 25%. The other one's getting like a 12%. So
mm,
my
okay.
thoughts is either the quality of the list or the subject line. So it has to be, and that's my opinion. So what do you see out there as far as your email campaigns?
Yeah, the subject lines definitely is a major thing. Also, like because they all subscribe to your list, so you probably wouldn't. Do you have any problem with people putting accidentally your email staying in spam or promotion?
It could go there. I mean, I try not to use the word free, and I try not to use some of
Yep.
the keywords in the subject line, which
Yep.
has a tendency to hit spam filters.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm mainly looking at. I mean, it's also what is in the content, I suppose. And what is it that I'm wanting the people to do with the email, and that's where I would hire, or that's why I think a new entrepreneur would hire somebody like you. Is how it's how do you create that, or how do you improve that, or actually even how to start it to begin with.
Yeah, totally. I think when you start, it just will happen. Like because you're new as a mailing list, it sort of takes a bit of history to gain that reputation. When people started valuing your emails, they started putting your emails into the primary folder, then your mailing list start to get that reputation that this is email is of value. Of course, I'm sure you already know about also telling your subscribers specifically to add you as a contact and to move you to primary. So that is a very important first step because without that, your subscriber would just not be able to see you as often. And again, back to the subject matter, subject line. What kind of subject lines have you been using so far?
It all depends on my second one is being mainly like promotions of the show. Like, hey, today we've got Jalen. He's from Malaysia. He has this email
Mm,
marketing campaign system. You know, go to the kevinadunlap.com website.
right.
So,
Okay.
and I'll give them the direct link of how to see your show on my website.
Right. What about the subject line itself? You're just saying, hey, this is someone appearing in this show.
For something like that, yes. I mean, I
Mm,
don't know I don't recall exactly,
okay.
and I do use um, the coding where you can put their first name and stuff like that.
Mm,
Well, to
mm.
try to personalize it. Maybe not the subject line, but at least the body, the kind.
Right, right. Interesting. So the thing is, I guess, from the perspective of a subscriber, okay, there's this new person that you're interviewing, but how is that related to me as a subscriber? right?
That's how, and
Yeah.
you have to explain that in 9 or 10 words or less.
Right, so it's like I'm not sure, if this person, how is that. And I have my daily routine. Everybody's busy, so all of us are so busy nowadays. I think the main thing is how do I capture this attention,
Hmm.
right? So it has to, in somewhat, maybe it's a problem I'm facing,
Okay.
right? Or is a pattern interrupt, or it's so intriguing, like oh, this is interesting, I really want to find out more about that. So that subject line has to create that intrigue, or it has to hit my pain point. So
Yeah.
somewhere, yeah, along those lines, something that creates this curiosity. I really want to find out more. Otherwise, it would be, I'm just too busy, right? I mean, as a to check another email, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I've even thought about in the past about saving these emails just so I
Mm,
can get a an example of flow. Like for example, Jeff Walker,
mm,
his emails, um, the way he does it where instead of being like big paragraphs, he does
mm.
it like 1 or 2 sentences. And
Yeah.
sure that you want like about maybe 8 to 10 words in, you hit the
Mm,
carriage return and you go over. So instead of being
mm.
all the way across, it's always like a very narrow.
Definitely, you raised a really good point. In fact, like very effective emails, because I see a lot of emails are very short sentences,
Hmm.
less than 6 words, catchy, punchy, and it's very easy to read. Because
Yes.
imagine like you're all busy. If you have like tons of words, tons of paragraphs, sometimes you just scroll through because like there's so much words,
Yeah.
right?
We get lost.
Yeah, exactly.
Which slide am I on?
Yeah. So like your point was just point on, like 6 words or less, very easy to read, and it's almost like having a conversation with a friend, and not too long. Like really, not more than like 400 words. Just very short one, entertaining, adding value. Someone gets value out of that, and that is a good email with a good call to action.
And he has at least three the exact same call to action through the email, like one at the top, one in the middle, one at the
Middle
bottom.
one at the bottom. Yeah. This is for him to cater for people who I already know what I want at the beginning. Like I already know, and I don't have to scroll down. A lot of people
Mm.
get like, I already know I want to do that. I don't have to scroll down at the bottom. And then some people needs a bit of persuasion, like read in the middle. Okay, I'm going to take action right now. And there's some people who are very detail oriented, who
Go
will
to the
just read everything. It's catering for these people, the people needs and different personality type, the sort of three call to action.
and even though he has the call to action in there more than one time, you only have one call to action.
Yeah, it's the same call to action. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So you don't have like go to Amazon.com to get my book, as well as go to YouTube to watch this video, as well as go to my Facebook page to. No, you don't have multiple call to actions or multiple different call to actions.
Exactly. I mean, just one message, simple and not, don't confuse your reader too much.
Hmm. Okay. Well, any other tidbits that you would that you would tell a starting or anybody that's looking to build their conversions?
Okay, I guess lead magnet, because I think talking about emails is a lot of times like people spend a lot of money on Facebook ads, right? You
Hmm.
spend so much money to drive traffic to your site. A lot of times people just sell immediately, which is not a bad thing, right? But if I were to go to a site and I don't know this person yet, I might not buy first because I don't know this person, right? But once they sell and you don't have a lead magnet, then you lost me forever.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yes.
So if I don't buy, make sure there's this lead magnet that comes up and say, hey, I have something very interesting for you. So like understanding your real customer prototype is really important. So you know exactly what I would be interested to get, like something like I'm sure you know about it, something free that would add the value to me, but I would be interested to have to sign up to the email list.
Yes, and just so those of you that are out there listening don't know what a lead magnet is, it's exactly what Jalen just said. It's a free giveaway for you giving up your possibly your first name and your email. So, and it could be a PDF, it could be an audio file. I mean, it could be just about anything. It could even be a coaching session if you wanted to,
Mm,
but it should be something that they can digest on their own time. So.
mm,
I mean, most people give away PDFs or some kind of survey or some kind of some kind of written material is what most people give. I have seen some audios, but I've mainly seen the printed material. So this could be something that basically an introduction to what you do for a business. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, yeah. Most importantly, like is understanding your customer. So something that your customer would need right now.
Okay.
Yeah, customer would need that right now. And the good thing about that person joining the email list is later on, you get to spend a bit more time with this person, right? You can ask this person questions, and whatever that your message is getting across, or whatever like the solutions you're trying to offer, you can try different ways of seeing what really resonate with this person. But if you sell straight up, which you still can, and you lost this person by not having that lead magnet, you will lose this person forever.
And when he says forever, he means they may come back to you through another piece of marketing material, but they won't be coming back to you. So, well, let me go save this website. And
Yeah, it's not. It's really unlikely, right? It's really unlikely. And because you spend so much money in your marketing effort to drive that, it's such a waste to. I think people like to say your email list is really your bank account. The size of your email list is your bank account size. Like people who really believe in the product that you have.
what I'm getting from this is before you start spending money on your marketing, you need to have it planned out exactly what you're going to be doing with that potential client. Okay, they're going to come to your website. Okay, what they're going to read the copy to start to be converted to put in their names and email.
Yep.
Then they get the download from you.
Mm.
Now you also got to figure out what is your email campaign after they download. So
Yep.
are they on an automatic drip system where they're getting consistent stuff like every 2 or 3 days, or are they getting emails that are pertaining to this specific date of time? So there's two different kinds of email campaigns that you would have, and it's all dependent upon your business.
Yeah, totally. Like you nailed it right there. In fact, like statistics say, when you drive traffic, a very good conversion sales page, very, very good. Like it's probably you only convert like 3%, 1 to 3%. So imagine 100 people go to your site, 97 people will leave your site, which is why I talked about the lead magnet. And then you talked about right after they join, that email sequence, like to sort of warm them up to what you have offering. But it's not about you offering the stuff, right? It's you creating the connection, building that brand, who you are. So usually, like we do like a sequence just to warm them up with what you have. It's not to hard sell them on anything, offer value throughout that sequence. And then after that, your daily emails, whatever, or your consistent, whatever emails that you have. And a lot of people, they are in that mailing list to get a problem solved, and also because they believe in you as a brand. So people actually want you as a personality. So they want to know a bit of what is going on with your life as well. I realize a lot of emails that I read is all about, it's all very, very formal. It's all very business-like. So there's no personality to that.
And I like what you're saying there, because I know I've talked about this one book, and I mean, this one of the 3 books I recommend any entrepreneur read, and it's called Building a Story Brand by
Yeah.
Taylor. And what he talks about in that is kind of what Jalen was just hinting at, is most people that are building a business, they are wanting to be the hero. And in any story, there's the hero, there's the anti-hero or the villain, and then there's the guide that helps the hero train and develop and be able to actually beat the anti-hero. I mean, Star Wars is a perfect example. The guide was Obi-Wan in the first movie and Yoda in the other movies. Let's go with the Matrix. The hero was Neo, but the guide was Morpheus. Just about any movie out there, it doesn't matter if it's an action film or even, hey, I want to get married, and then you go find that with the wedding planner, or whatever the story is, there's always a guide that gets them there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, most people that own businesses want to be the hero, and that's the wrong position to be in.
Exactly. Yeah.
According to Miller, is that you want to be the guide. The hero is your client.
Yeah.
So you don't come in there like, look at me, woe is me, I'm this greatest little thing. Like, no, how can I guide you from point A to point B?
Yeah, Kevin, you just nailed it right there. It's putting them as the hero and you being the guide. And I mean, whatever that you're offering, it's probably going to be 1,000 other people offering that. Like if you I don't know, whatever that you sell, right? There'll be 1,000 others, but why are they on your list? Why do they listen to you specifically? Mm-hmm. So there must be something they have to relate to you. If all your message is very business-like, very, hey, you can do this, you do that, there's no relationship, and no relationship, they could easily go to someone else. Mm-hmm. We only actually buy from people that we know, like, and trust.
Correct.
Right. That our friends, that we believe like is going to be a great guide, that that Yoda that will bring us to where we want to be. So being very business-like, we'd say, you talk about Jeff Walker, right? There are probably 1,000 other people who teaches people how to launch a product. Mm. Right. But because you trust Jeff, it's more of like that journey, which is why you're in his list, and you go for him. If another guy comes to you and say, hey, Kevin, I can teach you how to launch a product, you're probably like, I don't know this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And so we're kind of about to run out of time here. Jalen, if people wanted to get a hold of you, what's one of the best ways to get a hold of you? Is it going to, because I know at the moment the recording, you're redoing your website. So can they find you on Facebook, LinkedIn, or your website's going to be up here shortly, or how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah. I think just reach out to me in LinkedIn. It's Jalen Ong, JALENONG. You can reach out to me there. I have Facebook as well as Jalen Ong. Instagram is Ong Jalen. just yeah. My website will be out by the time this is that it will be also jalenong.com.
Jalenong.com. Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, it will be definitely be down in the description below. And if you like this show, definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you're on iTunes, go ahead and definitely leave likes for this show here. And Jalen, I do want to say I appreciate you for taking the time out of your day. I know you're kind of on your own little journey right now as you're going across Mexico and you're in the LA right now. But I know when you get back, when the shows are back, you're going to be back to work doing what you do best down in Melbourne. And for those of you that are listening, you can also go to my website at kevinadunlap.com and go to /free gift. You also have a free gift that I'll be giving away as well, which is the 8 steps to achieving any goal. Jalen, is there any last words that you have before we say goodbye?
Yeah, talking about, since you talk about free gift, so I also do a 3-day free trial. So, I mean, we see if it matches for the emails, and if it works out, great. If not, it's fine as well.
And you work with anybody anywhere in the world. They don't have to be in Australia or Malaysia.
No, of course not. Yeah.
The time differences, you just never know.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So those of you out there, it doesn't matter where you live. If you happen to be here in the United States, you happen to be in Europe somewhere, or even down in Australia, he'd be more than willing to help you out. And with this day and age, with the technology as it is, we can be very easily be international and worldly in our endeavors.
Yes, definitely, Kevin. I really appreciate you having me as part of this show.
I know we talked a little bit before, so I'm glad you're able to make it, and I'm just glad you're able to take the time out every day to do this. And thank you, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay. Well, goodbye, everybody. Until next time.
Goodbye. See you.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Life's Little Lessons with your host, author of Designing Your Own Destiny, Kevin A. Dunlap. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit kevinadunlap.com, facebook.com/kevinadunlap.author, and on Twitter @KevinADunlap. We'll catch you on the next episode of Life's Little Lessons.